So for this video, guys, I want to start looking at the PA shot post. This play is probably one of the best in Madden. Lots of different ways to run it. We're going to show you start with the easiest, then we're going to go a little bit further and kind of show you different ways to run it in different ways with man activation in other videos. But let's start off with this. Now, my favorite way of using this initially is really to go against those players that want to blitz you and do hard flats out of cover 3 over and over and over again, okay? So what I like to do on this is I want a max protection setup. So I want to block my running back, I want to motion him to the left, and all I'm going to do from here is put the Y on a streak, okay? What that's going to do, it's going to kind of do two things, and I want to kind of at least teach you the principles of this. We're going to get a easy wheel concept on the left because the hard flat's not going to cover him. The Y is going to drive back the players. But we're also going to have a second option with this S route because what happens here with these two hook curls, they're going to not get any depth on their routes because there's absolutely no threats to the area. We keep all the routes for basically their entire route tree to the left of the numbers. So with that in mind, the user really has to have a hard time covering both the wheel and the S route. Let me show you what I mean. So the first combination here is just the B. That's the easy one. We're going to throw it to him. We're going to get that catch and get some real yards, right? That should have plenty of time with max protection. Let me show you here what I mean by the depth of the linebackers. When they shade underneath, these linebackers have nobody in their zones, so they only back up 5 yards. Look. They will not back up, won't back up until the ball's thrown. See, they're still not even going. But they basically will stay there. So you'll see that this S route's coming across. That S route will get underneath that free safety. So no matter who they user, they are not going to be able to cover the wheel and the S route when they do it. So in this instance, if they were to sell out and try to cover the wheel, which is kind of a hard thing to do when you see that S route's coming across, you hit the S route. If they stick with the S route, you throw the wheel. Real simple concept, right? So I'll show you here again. All you're doing is putting the Y on a streak. You're blocking your running back, motioning him over, and watch this. Those guys are not going to back up. Now you're waiting for this X route, and you got that easy catch. So this is a hard flat beater. A lot of the people you're going to play are going to get frustrated if they're playing hard flats because of the way that it is. In the second part of this video, we're going to show you basically if they're not in hard flats, what do we do to kind of have an all coverage beater? And it's basically the same thing. All we're going to do here is we're going to block our running back, motion him over. We're going to put that Y on a streak, and we're just going to put the A on a drag. That's going to be the other way. You already know that if you're in cover 3 hard flats, the drag wasn't needed, but it will be needed in cloud flats. So in the cloud flats, we look over this guy. Is he open? All right, now we'll just throw it to this guy, get up the field, and get some yards. Obviously, I really wasn't even controlling my receiver. I should have. But you can see that's really the easy part of this is you just want to make sure that you got that additional player on there. And you can see here again, this guy's going to come across. All right, let's just throw it to him, get his yards, and we're going to get some good yards, right? Just one of those deals that they're going to have a hard time covering it on the short side of the field. Now, if they're in cover 2, that's a cloud flat. It's going to work exactly the same. If they're doing something where they're putting that player in a deep blue, you're just basically looking at doing the same exact thing you were doing before. I didn't move that guy over. It's okay. And we'll throw it to him and get ourselves the easy yard. So if you're thinking that they're going back and forth cloud flats, hard flats, that's going to, be the best bet. And if they think that you're doing it to where you know that they're in hard flats, you want to do the max protection. That's really what it is. So, say that you thought they were going to be in cloud flats, you did this, end up being in hard flats, not the end of the world, throw it to that B, and we're good to go, right? So it's a nice route combination that's going to get people to kind of try to figure out what to do, especially when we got all those routes that go to the right. They really can't sell out a lot to the left. So that's why I like to put these in. And we'll come back with the next video on how we like to add in your man activations.